I was going to say what day it is, but I'm not going to say what day it is. So that will make this evergreen. I'm just going to make my breakfast smoothie, and I figured I'd share some time with you, my patrons. So I want to make sure I give you some time with me, because that's basically what I like to do. So I'm using almond milk. I've been using the, I fill it to the top of the nut, the very first nut of the Vitamix. And then I give it about 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, which is what this is. Heavy cream from Publix. There's 1, 2 tablespoons. This is almost empty. I'm going to have to get some. So the almond milk that I'm using is from Aldi's, because they're basically $2 for each. And the almond breeze and the silk is much more expensive. So this is the dried goods that go in here. So what do? I put the dried stuff in there first, because if I don't follow some kind of an organization, I forget what I'm doing. So someone mentioned that magnesium is good for me, so I put in a couple of magnesium tablets. 1, it splashed. How embarrassing. I'm on my blog and it splashed. I also get out a teaspoon and a tablespoon, because I'm going to use the teaspoon and the tablespoon. Okay, so I'm going to start with the whitest white, and that is stevia. And I'm going to put like 1/8 of a tablespoon. What I learned with stevia is it's kind of like crossing the line. Up to the line, everything is good. Once you cross the line, everything is bad. It just tastes medicine-y, it tastes terrible. So along with the stevia, I like the sweet, in case you can't tell. 1 spoon of, what is this? This is Stevia, which doesn't have that harsh medicine taste, but it doesn't have the good side of the stevia, from what I've learned. Okay, so now I put this in. I also take 2 vitamin D tablets, but I don't put them in the smoothie anymore, because I don't want all that stuff going around in there. So I just put them, and I'll show you in a second what happens. Okay, so now I'm going to do my protein powder. I use 2, I would say, tablespoons. And I use this tablespooner thinger. And the reason that I do that is it's about half the amount that it's a Robb Whey Protein powder. So this is ready to go back in the fridge. This is ready to go back in the fridge. I already did all that. So now I'm going to add, what else is white? The Xanthum Gum. Xanthum Gum is something that I learned about. At the beginning it was like, no, I don't want all that processed stuff in my food. And then I learned that Xanthum Gum is actually good for you from one source. Okay, so it's about a level 3/4 of a teaspoon. Sometimes I put too much, I put it back. Shh. And I blow off the spoon. Okay, so this is done, this is done. Now, because of my age, I want to do something to help with what is called prostate health. And I found that one of the better things to use is pumpkin seed extract. I got it at Amazon. You want me to put this stuff in the link below? I can do that. And then what I'm going to do is, the faster stuff goes through my intestines and cleans my intestines, the healthier that I am. So I'm going to put a big old heaping tablespoon of ground flaxseed. This is ground flaxseed meal or ground flaxseed. I'll show you the bag in a second. It's cold milled organic flaxseed milled. It should say milled on here, but it doesn't. Okay, but it's ground. Okay, so now this is taking care of all of the powders. So I'm going to be a good little boy, and I'm going to put the stuff back in. Yeah, I know those of you that are scrutinizing what I'm doing. I know you're doing that. I can tell. I can feel it. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my bones. You see the rust on the refrigerator? We'll get that fixed in time. Just hope it's in my time. Alright, so now I have done all of the dry stuff. Now I'm going to get what they call a 5-ounce Dixie cup. This is a Dixie cup. Okay, so first I'm going to put water in it. And what do you think I'm going to do with this water? You think it's going in the smoothie? No, it's not going in the smoothie. It's going in my mouth. I'm going to take my 2 vitamin D pills. Okay, now comes the fun part for me anyway. Alright, I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, they're frozen strawberries from BJ's. 4 frozen strawberries. I'm going to add, you were wondering what this cup was for, right? I didn't throw it away because I use it as a scoop. I'm going to add a scoop of frozen wild blueberries. They're basically like blueberries, but they're smaller. Is this organic on here? It doesn't say. It just says fresh frozen wild blueberries, and I got those, where did I get that? Oh, the strawberries and the blueberries, I got them from BJ's. So, and the reason I get them from BJ's, I think Costco now has the wild blueberries also. And then I put in a frozen banana that's peeled. It's ripened right to the spot that I want. Then I peel them all, and then I just, put them in here. They're hard, in case you can't tell. Now, I'm feeling a little extra hungry today. So, what am I going to do when I'm a little extra hungry? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick one of these extra ripe bananas. I don't think I'm in the frame. Hello, I'm back. So I'm going to add a second banana to this. So you're going like, Peter, what the hell kind of a diet is that? It's basically a fruit diet. I cut out most of the sugars and stuff. So now what I'm going to do is blend it up in my Vitamix. So what I'm going to do is get the Vitamix out, and then I will move the camera so you guys can see. Actually, you know, why really should I bother moving the camera? You need to see it blended, and it's better for the noise to be farther away, right? So I'm going to move this over here, and then what I'm going to do is, if you really like what you see, put a lid on it. Oh no, it's put a ring on it. Okay, so this is the wide 64-ounce. It's wider. So I'm going to turn that on now. You're obviously not going to be able to hear me, but I'm going to pretend to talk. All right, it's funny. All right. So I'm going to put this on for 2 minutes. Actually, 1 minute and 30 seconds. And then I'll bring it back here, and I will show you what it looks like. Okay, I forgot to add the spirulina in case I cut that part out. 1 teaspoon, a little bit on the heaping side of spirulina. So I made my breakfast smoothie with you guys this morning, and I hope we had a good time together, because I know I watch other people that do this kind of stuff, and I kind of just enjoy spending time with them. So let's see. I'm going to pour it into this glass. And I get about 2.5 glasses of this. Now the Xanthum Gum makes it really thick. Like I just went to McDonald's or someplace and got a really thick milkshake. It's really, really excellent. Amazingly excellent. I kind of like the pouring part. I should learn to start doing these in 1/60th of a second. And I could have done that in slow motion. So I'm not quite sure which camera to consider using for the vlogs. Right now I'm using the Sony a7 III. The lens that I have on there is the 50mm expensive lens. I should probably add a put on a wider lens so I can get the camera closer, because I'm not using the lapel mic. I'm using a mic that's plugged into the top. And if the battery died, then this whole video is no good. The other option is I was going to use the GH4, which is why it's sitting here on the counter. It will do 60p in 4K, I believe. Or I could switch the Sony to the 1080 instead of 4K, but I really think I prefer doing this in 4K. So that's it. This is what I do every morning. And this is one of the basics of how I lost weight. I picked out one meal, and the easiest meal for me is breakfast, because it's the least involving with other people. People zoom in and out of this house making their own breakfast. So for breakfast I have Frosted Flakes, or I have Cheerios, or what is it, the Honey Nut Crunch Cheerios, pancakes, French toast, scrambled eggs, hash browns, toast. I'm not much of a coffee drinker, so maybe a glass of milk. So I figured the best meal to replace is that one. So it's not really a diet. It's not like, oh, what's on my diet? What I did is I looked at everything and I said to myself, what would make it easy and tasty and healthy? So fresh fruit, whey protein. Whey protein is basically like dried milk in some portion of it. Now there's two roads I can take. I can take the road where, alright, I changed this and I brought myself into a much more natural breakfast. And then I can eat like crap the rest of the day. Or I could try to do well for myself. So I kind of instilled a little bit of the low carb diet after breakfast, meaning no grains, no sugars. So for lunch I might have tuna fish, and I put a little mayonnaise or cream cheese or both in there. What else do I put? I like to put a little bit of chopped walnuts in the tuna fish, and one of the unique things I do with the tuna fish, always, because it's in a can, and I get the gold can, the Bumblebee Albacore White filet. It costs more, but it doesn't taste all that crappy. I put it in a strainer and I run it under the hot water to get all the, whatever it is that they did to cook it, out of there, and the juices that it's been sitting in there, and it heats it up. And so then I have that for lunch, and then I can actually do with 2 meals a day. And my biggest problem is like at 11, 12 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock when I want a snack. So for dinner, I have a meat and a vegetable, and I reverse the roles. The vegetable is the main course, and the meat is the small piece. So I'll get like a bag of string beans from Publix, the organic, let's see where it is. This is the cut green beans. It's organic, it's from Publix. They're like designed to be steamed or microwaved, but I've done away with the microwave because one of the kids did a special thing for their science fair. And we come from a flower shop where it's like everybody grew up in the flower business. That's what my parents were. So they, as a science project, they got flowers, 2 vases. One was fresh water from the sink, and our sink has got a filter on it. And the other is water that is boiled in the microwave and then cooled back to room temperature. The flowers that were done in the microwave, 2 days, and they were dead. And I'm going like, okay, there's something going on here, a little bit screwy. So I stopped using the microwave. What do I use it for? Nothing. not even for jingles. So I take that bag and I put that in the electric pressure machine, pressure cooker, and I put it in for 10 minutes, and the string beans are done. And I add butter to them. I add a little bit of garlic salt, and that is, I can eat almost that whole bag, but not quite. And then, you know, you buy the Chick-fil-A's, or if you get the chicken breast, I cut it so like I get only half. So I get like the main part is vegetables and a little piece of meat. And that becomes dinner time. So what do I do for the snack at about 10, 11 o'clock? Well, I would go for the Haagen-Dazs. As a matter of fact, I've got a Breyers here. And now Breyers has come out with a low carb. I'm going to have to taste that one. But this has been sitting here for a while because I stopped with the ice cream. Even though Haagen-Dazs is my favorite, I'm showing you Breyers, right? So, this is going to drip. No dripping. No dripping. Notice it's got minimal editing in here for you guys that are camera guys. So what I do is I use sour cream, and I specifically like Daisy. Sour cream. And I put a handful, I'm not going to pull them out, of fresh blueberries in there. And I put a teaspoon of Stevia. So it's a sweet blueberry cream dessert that's not ice cream. And it's got almost no carbs, whatever the blueberries have in carbs. What kind of carbs do the blueberries have? I never checked. Now, everybody that's watching me is going to shoot me down. Oh, it's got 0 added sugars. That's a way of cheating. Okay, 0 added sugars. And it's got total 10 grams. So that's not bad. And how much is that for? An average serving is about 1 cup. I have 1/3 of a cup. I get 5 ounces. And I put that in there. So basically I'm having an 8. This is better than I thought. Thank you for telling me. So you had breakfast with me. We spent time together today. And that is what a lot of YouTubers want. We want to find people that are real, that we can actually spend time with, where I'm talking to you. And you know, you can even comment down here. It's a regular YouTube video. It's just brought to you in a different way. So that's it. Thank you for spending time with me. I think it was special. Every time we spend time together, I think it's special. Catch you later. All right? Should I swish it out like my regular channel, or should I just go bling? I'll swish.
You have just watched another Peter Gregg video. Something warm, human, and wonderful happens when you watch Peter Gregg. Thank you for watching. Description of all equipment used in this video, plus any notes Peter took while filming, are always placed in the description box, show more box, or down arrow thingy next to the title on mobile apps. Duly noted.